So, today's lecture is going to be all about word formation. Now, there are several ways of forming words. Vocabulary is a very important aspect of communication, written or spoken. At the same time, when you read or listen, it is important that you should have a good command and good control over words. After all, words are the building blocks of any language. So, there are several things, several aspects of word formation. We will be talking about antonyms, synonyms soon. We will also talk about suffix and prefixes, although I remember we have touched upon this aspect of affixes at in one of our earlier classes. So, today I am going to talk about something extremely important and very often confused element of language and vocabulary, that is phrasal verbs. Now, phrasal verbs, before I go into, let me read out these words for you, these phrasal verbs that I have written for you. Wind up, break down, taken in, cut off, work out, break out, taken up. What do these things mean? Now, wind up, I will give you an example. My job here is done, I can wind up and leave. Pronunciation is not wind up, but wind up. I can wind up, that means I can finish whatever work I have here and whatever my commitments are, and I am done for the day or for the year or for whatever term I was here. So, wind up and leave. Break down, we also say breakdown in terms of having a nervous breakdown, but we often say some gadget broke down. So, yeah. So, what I am trying to say is these things are, phrasal verbs are exactly or not always what they seem to be, what they appear to be. There is more sort of a deeper meaning, even idiomatic meaning to these. So, they are not to be taken literally. Cut off, so we do not take a pair of scissors and cut off something, we can cut off ties with someone. I cut off all my ties with that friend. That means I severed all my ties with a person. Taken up, taken in, you get taken in when you are fooled by someone. Work out, okay, they are trying to make things work out. A certain aspect of anything is not working well, they are trying to make it work. So, to make it work is another phrasal example and of phrasal. So, without realizing, consider the number of times we use phrasal verbs. Before I go deep into it, I wanted to focus on something else altogether, dangling modifier. Now, see, many students while writing make this error. It is less commonly mistaken in spoken English. In reading, we do not find it, because after all it is a very erroneous construction. However, in writing, many of us who are non-native speakers especially, perhaps it is common among native speakers, but more among non-native speakers of English, where they make errors which are pertaining to dangling modifier. Now, what is dangling modifier? Before I define it and explain it, let me give you a very simple sentence. Standing at the top of the building, the people below looked small. Let me repeat. Standing at the top of the building, the people below looked small. Now, who is standing at the top of the building? Where is the subject? Definitely, people are not standing, the people who are under discussion here or under consideration here. Definitely, they are not the ones who are standing. at the top of the building. So, who are they? Where is it? So, remember, standing at the top of the building is a dangling modifier or the unrelated participial phrase. A participle qualifies the first noun or pronoun that follows it. Here it is the people below, but definitely it is not the people below who are standing at the top of the buildings, though that is what the sentence seems to suggest. The word it modifies is not clearly stated in the sentence. So, how do we correct it? One way is to change the first part and add another word from the top of the building, or you can even rewrite it. As we stood at the top of the building, the people below looked invisible or looked barely visible or looked very small. Now, these words or these expressions are adverbial. We can retain the participial phrase, but follow it up with the word to which it really refers. So, now we are not saying standing below or standing on top of the building. Now, we are saying as we stood on the top of the building, right. So, we is important. The people below looked small to us as we stood at the top of the building. Another example I will give you, having listened to both sides of the argument, it should now be possible to arrive at a decision or at a conclusion. Having listened to both sides of the argument, it should now be possible to arrive at a decision. Now, having listened to both sides of the argument, who listened to the argument? So, it is not clearly stated. So, therefore, it is important to insert it and rewrite it. Having listened to both sides of the argument, we should now be able to arrive at a conclusion or decision or judgment. Now, why we are why this is necessary? Because the word we has to be in, because only then it is going to give you a sense or an appropriate accurate meaning to the sentence. Look at this slide here. Here is an exercise for you. Look at these sentences. While picking flowers, a bee stung her. Now see, look at the way it is done. Who is picking flowers? The way the sentence is constructed without a very clearly stated subject or a comma, it looks like or it appears as though a bee was picking flowers. Definitely, while she was picking flowers, a bee stung her. So, while she was picking flowers is essential. So, you have to insert those two words. On opening the door, a cloud of smoke was seen in the room. Now, who opened the door? When he opened the door, a cloud of smoke was seen, or when he opened the door, a cloud of smoke, he saw a cloud of smoke in the room. So, this is the way you correct. Not being photographers, there was nothing in the exhibition that could interest us. This could be or should be rewritten as we are not photographers, there was nothing in the exhibition. Otherwise, not being photographers is not acceptable. Please look at these web resources. These are important links that have good materials on dangling modifiers with plenty of examples. Please do go through these. Let us now move on to do phrasal verbs. Now, a phrasal verb is a verb formed from two parts or sometimes even three parts, a verb and an adverb or preposition. A verb, preposition, a verb, preposition, a verb, preposition. sometimes an adverb also. For example, Spirited Away, title of a movie, an anime movie, but Spirited Away, away is an adverb and you have your verb there. So, this is one example of phrasal verb. Now, most are formed from a small number of common verbs, right? Cut, break, take in, work, common verbs. Also sit, sat, etc. Now, we also have adverbs and prepositions such as I just gave you all these examples, away, out, up, in, off, through, etc. Bring up, set off, put off. So, these are the these are phrasal verbs for you. Why do we use? English language is extremely fond of using phrasal verbs. Okay. Without understanding phrasal verbs, it is very difficult to read complex passages and write advanced level of English, and therefore, we need phrasal verbs. They add more variety to our reading or writing, but if we make mistakes here, then there is trouble. A mistake in phrasal verb or phrasal verbs, they change the entire meaning of the sentence. You can't say taken in place of taken up. Okay? Taken up is something very different from taken in. Look at your dictionaries. Break in is very different from break up. So, therefore, it is important to have a thorough knowledge of phrasal verbs. Let me give you some more uncommon. Right now, I have given you a list of common phrasal verbs, but let us talk about more uncommon phrasal verbs. Before I go into it, let me remind you, I have already suggested a dictionary to you. That dictionary happens to be extremely rich in phrasal verbs as well. So, if you want to look at particular phrasal verbs and examples, you should always look at the head word. So, if you want to look at break up, break in, or break into, you have to first look at the word break. The second word, the preposition, is not going to help you, but definitely the head word, and then you have to go down, and it all depends on the kind of dictionary you are using, how many varieties of language and its meanings and synonyms and phrasal verbs it can offer to you. So, as I was telling you, some examples of less common phrasal verbs: gravitate towards, gravitate towards, that is to be with someone you like with. People gravitate towards this product. Let us think of a very popular soap or a detergent in our own country, and people gravitate towards this product. Why? Because they trust this product, they like it for some reason. So, gravitate towards. Gravitate. Another example, graft onto, graft onto. Please note the spelling, it is not into but onto. What is graft onto? It is more medical and surgical. To take a piece of bone or skin and use it to replace a damaged part of someone's body. For example, like we say skin was grafted onto the wound to help it heal. Another example, hand in. Now, when you hand in, this is different from hand out. Hand in is giving, and when you give hand out to someone, it's like I am handing out something, but someone has to hand me in, or I can also hand in some work to someone. So, it's a very different meaning in both words. So, therefore, subtle nuances of the English language, hand in and out, you just cannot confuse the two. Hand in is give something to someone in authority. For example, hand in your assignment to the professor. Caved in. Caved in is collapse. It can be collapse of a physical body. It is more common when we talk about the roof collapsed, the building collapsed, so caved in. It can also be a caved into pressure. The minister caved into the pressure of his advisors and signed a bill, something like that. I caved in, I gave in to pressure. So, it is almost like a collapse. It can be a physical structure, a collapse of a physical structure, or even moral collapse, or collapse in your ability to take decisions. So, for example, the roof of the old building caved in on top of the people. Another example, let me write it out for you. Zeroed in on. Now, how interesting, you have 3 words here and 2 prepositions. This means focus on someone or something. The selection committee has zeroed in on 2 candidates for the scholarship. They have selected or almost shortlisted 2 people for this. Infer from, that is to form an opinion or conclusion. I cannot infer anything from your thesis, from your report. Now, let me draw your attention to this sample text. Please look at the slide. Phrasal verbs. This is a passage that I have taken from a review of a film called The Man Who Knew Infinity. So, this is a review article. I have highlighted as usual all the words that I want you to pay attention to. Let me read it out for you. A beautiful mind is reduced to simplified dramatic equations in The Man Who Knew Infinity, an easily digestible fish out of water. You know what is fish out of water? Something quite odd, something that does not belong. It is an idiom. So, biopic, and what is biopic? Biopic is a picture which is made like a biography of a person. You have biopics of Napoleon, Alexander, a biopic of our own great athlete Milkha Singh. So, this is a biopic of Srinivasa Ramanujan, the India-born mathematical prodigy, whose tutelage under the English academic G.H. Hardy gave rise to some of the field's most remarkable 20th century discoveries. But even their largely absorbing repo can't ward off the movie's slow descent into a rhythmically and dramatically plodding cycle of misfortune. Ramanujan's health steadily worsens as signalled by a nagging tubercular cough, accompanied by irregular cutaways to Janaki's despairing from thousands of miles away, with no one except the mother-in-law from hell for company. The Man Who Knew Infinity builds to a moment of hard-won recognition from Ramanujan's peers at Cambridge, followed by the sobering acknowledgement that he was taken from the world too soon. Try to use these expressions in language of your own. Reduce to, gave rise to, ward off, descent into, signaled by, accompanied by, despairing from, followed by, taken from. Interesting phrasal verbs, quite useful and very common in the English language as we talk about moving towards more complex kind of reading and writing. Now, here is an exercise for you. Please look at these words, these phrasal verbs. Fill in the blanks using the phrasal verbs. Arrived at, did away, kept pouring, shot down, go back. And here is the passage for you. Fill in the blanks using these phrasal verbs. Let's dash to what you were saying. We finally dash a conclusion. He dash all my ideas. They should dash with such obsolete rules. The offers dash. So, let's go back to what you were saying. We finally arrived at a conclusion. He shot down all my ideas. What do you do when you shoot something down? Again, please note, it is not literally shooting down with a gun, but shot down is dismissed of all your ideas. Next, they should do away with such obsolete rules. That means, scrap all these rules which are of no consequence or relevance or significance today. The offers kept pouring in. The offers kept pouring in. It is like rain. You are flooded with offers. Someone so popular that she or he is getting offers to do a project, perhaps an endorsement, perhaps things like that. Here is a list of a set of popular phrasal verbs. Please look at these phrasal verbs and make sentences of your own. Put forward, drive out, lead in, look for, consist of, burnt out, narrow down, feed on. Now, I will give you another exercise and complete the following using phrasal verbs. The phrasal words are there, but they are not given. The second half or second part of the phrasal word is missing, or phrasal verb is missing. They have broken dash their deal. Robbers had broken dash their house. You need to tone dash your attitude. Things are good, they are looking dash. He has a superiority complex and looks dash on others. The rains eased after a while. Now, what do we do with this? They have broken off the deal, OFF. Robbers had broken into their house. You need to tone up or down. So, when you talk about attitude and behavior and your perhaps the way you interact with people, you have to tone down. Perhaps this aggressive attitude would not work. So, tone down your attitude, tone down your approach towards people. Things are good, therefore, they are looking. Now, we can't say looking down. If they are good, they can't be down. So, they have to look up. So, things are looking up. You have another sense of looking up. You look up to someone. That means you admire them. They are your role models. Srinivasa Ramanujan may be a role model. I am sure he is a role model to several scientists, and many people, millions of people look up to him. He has a superiority complex, and therefore, this person cannot look up on others, right? He has to look down on others. That means everyone else is inferior. So, he looks down on others. The rains eased off after a while. This is an expression. So, the rains eased off after a while. Remember, phrasal verbs and passive they have a very complicated relationship. So, you know we have done passive voice. Now, there are some phrasal verbs that can be passivized. For example, reduced to, she was reduced to tears by her boss. She was reduced to tears by the response. Okay, so this is reduced to is a phrasal verb. You can, it has to be passivized. Switch off is another word. Switch off the lights, let the lights be switched off. But look at a sentence like that. She had to put up with a lot of struggle. How do you make it pacified? How do you pacify this sentence? She had to put up with a lot of struggle. She had to put up with a lot of struggle. Think of a way. It's difficult. So, phrasal verbs can be passivized only in those few verbs that take an object. Otherwise, it is difficult to turn a phrasal verb into a passive construction. Now, look at this slide of phrasal verbs. Look at the words, the phrasal verbs that I am giving to you. Designed to, setting in, focus on, agree on, bandied around. Use these expressions, use these phrasal verbs and fill in the blanks. Here is your exercise. Please look at the slide. The term startup has been dash. Please use the words that we have just looked at. With increasing frequency over the past few years to describe scrappy young ventures, hip San Francisco apps and huge tech companies. According to Merriam-Webster, where Merriam-Webster is an American dictionary. Startup means the act or an instance of dash, operation or motion or a fledgling business enterprise. One thing we can all dash, the key attribute of a startup is its ability to grow. A startup is a company dash scale very quickly. It is this growth, it is this dash growth unconstrained by geography which differentiates startups from small businesses. A restaurant in one town is not a startup, nor is a franchise a startup. I am showing you the slide again. Of course, the exercise is phrasal verbs, but also look at some very interesting words here. For example, unconstrained. Very soon we will do more of affixes and prefixes and suffixes. Unconstrained uses a prefix un, otherwise you say constrained. Unconstrained means unrestricted. Differentiates is another interesting word. You have difference, which is a noun, different, which is an adjective, and differentiates becomes your verb. Differential is also your noun. So, word formation, that is what we are talking about. Now, let us solve this exercise. Take a minute or so. And here is the answer. The term startup has been bandied around. So interesting. Bandied around has been thrown around, has been in circulation with increasing frequency over the past few years to describe scrappy young ventures, hip San Francisco apps. Hip is very modern, very stylish, and huge tech companies. According to Merriam-Webster, startup means the act or an instance of setting in operation or motion of a fledgling business and enterprise. One thing we can all agree on. We can all agree on. So, when the preceding word was we can all, it has to be agree on. The key attribute of a startup is its ability to grow. A startup is a company designed to scale very quickly. It is this focus on growth, etc., and therefore, this is your exercise. Look at this slide. This is computer vocabulary. See, every domain, every area of specialization has its specific register. By register we mean a kind of technical jargon that is specialized, or that is restricted only to that particular domain. So, this is this vocabulary is common to people who deal in computers, but also consider the way these words have come to form a part of our popular lexicon. I would like you to find the meanings of the following. Look at the definitions of the following: cyber culture, user friendly, technobabble, information highway, bandwidth, netiquette, flames and technophobe. Let us move on to do another exercise, and here is a list of words all misspelled. I would like you to rewrite these words and write the correct form of spellings. Please look at the list. I will give you only a moment. Separate, pursuit, accommodation, believe, convenience, received, decision, available. This is the answer. Separate, pursuit, accommodation, believe, convenience, receive. Remember the EI and IE combination. After C you have an I and E, and then after C it is the EI combination, otherwise it remains IE. Decision and available. So, I will also like to do some pronunciation with you today. Let us talk about stresses. Now, what are stresses in spoken language? I am now talking about word stress and not sentence stress. Let us begin with the basics. Now, word stress, when we stress on a particular syllable, as you know, words consist of syllables. Many a time there are monosyllabic words. For example, KNOW, no, and no, one sound. Okay? But here you have gravitate, trisyllabic. Now, very often it is important to stress on the right syllable. We say no, and here is a stress. When we say word, just one syllable, stress, one syllable, zeroed in on. So, I stressed on the initial sound, zeroed in on. Otherwise, if I say zeroed in on, it looks or it appears extremely problematic. Graphed onto, you do not wind up. It's important to stress on the right syllable or the sound. Taken in, taken up. So, it's important to know what are those syllables that have to be stressed on. Now, I am reading out a list of words. This I have taken from the book Better Spoken English. I have already referred to this book in our introductory or in our one of our initial classes. So, here is a list of words, and I would like you to follow me as you sit in your classroom or as you sit in your rooms, and please follow me as I read out this list of words with correct enunciation and correct stress. Abdomen, we do not say abdomen, we say abdomen. Adjective, accident, advocate, acronym, agency, algebra, ambassador. Now, where is the stress? On the second sound. We do not say ambassador, ambassador, second syllable. Analysis, not analysis, analysis. You are, this is, please note, now the stress is on the second syllable. Antonym, we do not say antonym, antonym, you know, opposite of some word. Apostrophe, aptitude, bulletin, Canada, name of a country, they too need to be stressed properly in order to make the sound and the meaning clearer. Cinema, comedy, compromise, cucumber, customer, destiny, dynamite, ecstasy, element, eminence, emporium, envelope, encyclopedic, enterprise, etiquette, evidence, expenditure, experiment, experience, not experience, experience. Stress is on the second syllable. Now, Better Spoken English is a book that has been written in order to facilitate the pronunciation, to improve the pronunciation of non-native speakers of the English language. Now, see, the entire idea of the English, of having a course like this is that we need to understand that we are trying to be more proficient in the English language, so that we can communicate better and make ourselves understandable and comprehensible to other people, whether they are in India or abroad. So, it is important to be able to understand the idiom, the language, the way people communicate, and also correct pronunciation and stress and emphasis of words and sentences is a very important part of making yourself comprehensible, especially to those who are the native speakers of the English language. Remember this, when I use the word native speakers, I am using it in a very broad sense, people whose first language is the English language. Okay. The idea of this course is not to try to turn you into British or American speakers of the language. What I mean here is that do not put on accents, or what I would rather say false accent or fake accent. The way you speak would be perfectly comprehensible if you just know where to emphasize and stress. And then we have already done some work on pace and rhythm of the language. Pay attention to those. It is not at all important that you should be able to put on the kinds of accents that perhaps a Canadian may have, or an American may have. That is not required. That is also not very appropriate thing to do. So, retain your accents, but make sure that they have minimum interference with your language, with your spoken language, and therefore, it is more important to practice the way words and sentences are supposed to be enunciated. So, thank you very much and see you in the next class.